Hey there, it's Dave at NoRecipeRequired, and tonight we're talking about baking chicken breasts. Now, I'm using a bone-on chicken breast, but you can use skinless, boneless as well. I'll show you how to do a quick spice rub, smother it all over the chicken, then a quick sear in the pan, and then we'll finish it off in the oven. Really, pretty simple to do. It takes about 40 minutes to do, soup to nuts. We'll go through a few of the techniques that you got to follow to make sure your chicken breast turns out super flavorful and super moist and tender. Let's go ahead and get to it. So I took my chicken breast out of the fridge and I've got my oven preheating. And what I'm going to do now is just season them. You can use kind of whatever you want, salt and pepper at a minimum. What I'm doing, I got a little dry rub here. This is some chili powder, a little bit of cumin, some salt and pepper, and a little bit of brown sugar, because I'm kind of making these as barbecue-ish chicken breasts. You want to get a good amount of seasoning on all sides. These happen to be bone-in chicken breasts, but if you want to do it with skinless, boneless, absolutely you can do that. The key here is get the seasoning good and let them come up to room temperature before we start cooking them. So first rule was letting our chicken breasts come up to room temperature before we cook them. Next, and a mistake a lot of people make, is just throwing the chicken into like a a barely warm oven. What you want to do is start it on the stove top, good hot pan. Lay the chicken in, skin side down, a little bit of olive oil in the pan to start with, and you want to hear that sizzle because you want to render that fat and the skin out relatively quickly and get a nice brown crust on the outside of the chicken. We're going to let this go. Don't touch it, don't mess with it for about 3 or 4 minutes, then we'll flip it over and then do the other side, all on medium-high heat. Okay, so after 2 or 3 minutes, we're going to turn it over. And we're going to get nice brown. This is a little bit dark, but it's perfectly fine. It's going to taste awesome. The brown sugar in that dry rub is what caramelized and what turned a little bit of brown, but it's absolutely fine. If you're doing without the brown sugar, you can let it go even longer. I'm going to let the chicken go for about the same amount of time, 2 or 3 minutes on this second side, and then we're going to move it into the oven. So I browned the chicken on the other side for 3 or 4 minutes, and then I'm just rotating it around to get little bits and pieces that haven't quite caramelized just yet. I'm going to go ahead and do that for maybe another 2 minutes or so, and then I'll lay the chicken skin side up, back in the pan. It's probably going to take about half an hour to get to an internal temperature of 160, and about 3/4 of the way through we're going to pull it out and put a little barbecue sauce on for the last 10 minutes or so to bake right in. Okay, so I just tested our chicken with a little meat thermometer. Highly suggest you get one. We're at about 145 or so. It's been in about 20 minutes. I'm just going to take a little bit of barbecue sauce and smear it all over the chicken. Now, my family's a little bit of a light barbecue sauce family, so I'll go light, but you can certainly go heavier. Now, the reason we do this at the end is the sugar in the barbecue sauce will tend to burn pretty quickly. So you only want to do it when you got about 10 minutes left to go. And it's just going to kind of bake nicely into that crust, get a little crispy on top, and be absolutely perfect. As this finishes cooking, we're going to move it back in the oven and let it go for just about that another 10 minutes or so until it hits that 160 internal temperature. Okay, so the final step for these chicken breasts are letting them rest. Pull them off the heat onto a clean cutting board. Don't touch them for at least 5 minutes. Okay, so after the chicken is rested, you can certainly serve it as is, or you can do, as I'm going to at least attempt to do, take it right off the breastbone. You just kind of follow the bone there, and then you've got the whole breast. You can go ahead, slice it up, and you'll see how beautifully tender, juicy, flavorful, and wonderful this chicken breast is. I'm going to slide mine aside. I'm serving mine with a little bit of asparagus and rice. You can kind of wild rice, you can fan it out there. Oh, and it's going to be the juiciest, best, most delicious chicken you've ever had. I'll see you next time on No Recipe Required. Holy cow, you made it to the end of the video. Hope you saw something you liked. Hope you tried this recipe. If so, throw something in the comments. Let me know how it turned out. And you know what? I put videos up every week, sometimes twice a week. If you want to subscribe, go ahead. Click this little button right here. It should be somewhere around my fingers. And you'll get updates when I post new videos. You can comment, you can enjoy, we can all learn to cook better. I'll see you next time.